Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook. And we got Kelly with us here. It is officially spring. So I know that doesn't make too much of a difference for you, Kelly, in Arizona, where the weather's pretty stable. But for a lot of other people listening to this podcast, you're probably getting excited, seeing some, hopefully more activity as we head into the spring market. So fantastic. Make the most of that. And while you're having conversations with people about wanting to sell their homes again, hopefully these conversations are happening more often. We have something to talk about today that you need to know about. And that is everything that's going on with private exclusive listings. We got some lawsuits to talk about.
Yep.
A whole bunch of shakeup is potentially, probably coming to the real estate industry. So Kelly, let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. What do people need to know is happening right now?
Yes. Okay, guys, if you're in real estate, that's a great setup, Elizabeth. If you're in real estate, you need to listen to this podcast and literally do not turn the dial. You need to listen to this podcast all the way through, because if you're not, I'm sorry, you are uninformed about your industry, and that is a problem. It's going to hurt you. It's going to trickle down to hurt your consumer. Yeah, exactly. You need to be informed what's going on with the different brokerages and alignment and coming soon listings, otherwise known as private exclusive listings, meaning not on the MLS for everyone in the world to see.
Pocket listings, is that another term?
Pocket listing, all this stuff. Okay, so here we go. Let's just set the table real quick, all right? Compass is owned by Robert Redfin, or he's the CEO at least, right? And it's publicly traded. And Compass has been buying up. Their strategy has been buying up acquisition, right? Buying up a lot of different brokerages over the past several years. You know, the biggest acquisition being Anywhere Services, which, you know, is the parent company of a lot of big brands that we all know about, like Coldwell Banker, et cetera, Century 21, you know, so on and so forth. Now, what they started to do about a year ago or so, I don't know the exact time frame, but they said, you know what, look, we are tired of Zillow getting all of the realtor information of listings from the realtors, from the MLSs, basically, right, for free. So we don't think that it should be required for a realtor who just got a listing agreement signed by a seller to have to share the data to Zillow if they choose not to, if they don't want to. Okay. And there should be no agreement in which they are forced to do that. So because let's back up a second. So Clear Cooperation Policy, right? CCP, NAR came out a few years ago, and they said that, you know, if you are going to advertise a property at all as a licensee, you need to have it in the MLS in some capacity, coming soon status, active status, whatever, within 24 hours. So that creates an equal playing field for everybody. And the buyer who's uninformed more, or maybe doesn't have an agent that's as dialed in or connected, doesn't have the fair playing field, which I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm more of a capitalistic person, right? Like, look, you know, go out there and find the best agent then, or go out there and do more due diligence on your own, or do something, right? But if a seller in America, as a free country, wants to sell their house a certain way while using the services of a licensee, you know, I do feel they should be able to kind of do what they want. Now, I think they need to be fully informed. I think there's maybe some shadiness going on there, where sellers truly aren't fully informed of what's really going to happen if they choose to do this strategy versus this strategy, meaning go private exclusive with this brokerage for a certain period of time, as opposed to just go on MLS to the whole world. Okay. Now, let's now pick up our story where we left off. Compass said, you know what, we want the ability for our sellers to choose. We're going to create a portal, our own little portal / network of private exclusives or non-MLS marketed properties that we are going to be marketing for sale. And therefore, they may not ever be shared to Zillow and Redfin and Realtor and Homes.com and all these big syndication portals, right? And sorry, that's the way it's going to be. Well, Zillow said you can't do that. You should CCP and MLS and NAR. So we are going to fight back, and we're not going to then show any Compass listings on our website. So when you want to go to the open market, if we know it was on your private exclusive list at one point, you're banned. So you just screwed yourself, in other words, right? Because if you didn't sell it there, good luck trying to sell it now because you can't go to Zillow. Property will not be shown in Zillow. And we have those eyeballs, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So then Compass says, we're going to sue you. And so they file suit against Zillow, right? Because everyone's claiming it's all about homeowner choice and pro-consumer. And the reality is, I don't know if that's the case for either one of these two parties. At the end of the day, it's about money. Let's just be very clear. Follow the money, usually find the truth. Okay. So anyways, here's Zillow. Most recently, Zillow came out with this thing called Zillow Preview. Zillow has now said, as of February, they're going to have Zillow Preview, in which they will allow certain properties to be previewed to the consuming public, okay, on their site, no matter which brokerage they are listed with. Okay. So then Compass said, oh, okay, well, if that's the case, we'll go ahead and we'll drop our lawsuit against you because now you're for the consumer. Okay. That's the talking point, right? That Compass is making. So we'll drop our lawsuit against you. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to partner specifically with Redfin, which now also owns, Rocket Mortgage owns Redfin, right? And so we're going to, all of our private exclusives now on, for Compass agents will be only on Redfin. Only on Redfin. Okay? Coming soon, off-market property. Seller wants to sell it. Compass agent says, cool, we're going to put it on Redfin. But it's not going to be on these other websites unless it goes active on the MLS. Okay? And now Zillow will play nice now because they, Compass dropped a lawsuit. And so if you're a Compass agent, you get that privilege now like you always had before. Okay. So now they're going to have their coming soons only on Redfin for the consumer to see. Well, Zillow says, okay, cool. Well, we're going to do a Zillow preview. And so we're going to have that ability to do that for potential partners of ours. Well, who's their partner now? Guess who signed up? Keller Williams and Remax just signed in, and they signed an exclusive partnership deal with Zillow to have their listings in coming soon status only on Zillow preview on Zillow. Right now, this comes from Gary Keller, who for years, because I was there for 12 years, selling real estate, for years said Zillow was the bad guy. Zillow wants your data. You need to protect your own data. Don't partner with Zillow. And now look what Keller Williams is doing. I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade on Keller Williams. You got to adjust. You're not always right.
Got to do what you got to do. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. So it is what it is. But I just find it kind of interesting, right? Okay. Remax signed the same deal. So Remax Keller Williams listings and coming soon status will now be only on Zillow preview. Okay. Now EXP comes out. It says, we want to do a deal. They have 80-some thousand agents, right? And so what they are doing is they are not signing an exclusive deal with one big search portal. They're signing basically an exclusive deal with 3 search portals. So now all the EXP coming listings will be exclusively on realtor.com, homes.com, and basically Google. Okay. Because it's called carehome.com. Google owns it. Okay. So those 3 sites. So now coming soon listings for EXP only will be on those 3 portals, but not on Redfin and not on Zillow. Now, Real Broker, which is the fastest growing brokerage in North America, by far, not even close, is at 33,000 agents. So they're a player coming onto the scene big time and have been for a little while. Obviously, I'm with Real Broker and love the company. They are sitting silent right now. And basically our CEO, Tamir, made the comment that right now we don't think that is a battle to get into trying to convince one search portal to exclusively sign with us or us sign with them. We're going to wait and see how that kind of plays out a little bit. In the meantime, we're going to continue to do our strategy and focus on our stuff, because what Real's doing, Real is actually the only brokerage that's even remotely close to doing AI housing search, having their own platform called heyleo.com. Okay. So there'll be no brokerage that will even compete with this type of search for the consumer in the near future. And the only competition that we're going to have is going to be probably the big search portals like Redfin and Zillow that will come out with AI search at some point. But AI search is in beta right now with Real. And once that hits, that's going to be a game changer for whoever decides to use it. And so it depends how fast that word gets out to the consuming public, right? But I love it because it's for the agent, because they're a brokerage, right? They're not trying to just sell them services to make money like Zillow, Redfin, these other search portals that are not just for their agents, right? So, okay. So now you have the lay of the land, right? You have EXP doing 3 different portals, coming soon properties. You have Keller Williams and Remax doing one portal, which is Zillow. You have Compass doing one portal, which is Redfin. So all these coming soon. Now the question becomes when? When does this all happen? Good question. And it's most of these coming soons will start because guys, let's be clear. Hold on a second. Right now, coming soons don't show up for the consumer. The consumer. You're someone searching online for properties in whatever city in America on Zillow or whatever. You only see the active properties and active status in MLS, right? This is changing consumer what which kind of sucks honestly because as an agent you kind of have that ability right now, at least right now, to say, hey, you know what, if you want some off-market properties, you need to look
Yeah,
at my
that's
search
what
link.
I was kind of interested in. Like, what is the benefit of this, of doing
the,
this?
the benefit
Like
is,
for the consumer, for the agent, like what is the benefit? What is the purpose of all of this?
well, keep in mind that again, per the MLS rules, and most MLSs, they're different across all the different countries. There's hundreds of MLSs, right? But like there's only a finite period of time you can stay in coming soon status on MLS. Some cities are 14 days, some are 30 days, like Phoenix, and so on and so forth, right? And so it's only going to be a finite time. Then it's going to flip to active. Well, if the majority of listings now will be out there for the consumer to see in coming soon status somewhere somehow, then are they really coming soon properties anymore?
Oh, they're just
They're
they're
just,
just
they're just
there.
active properties.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
difference now if everyone can see them when they're coming soon, just like they can when they're active?
Yeah.
So it's so dumb. If they all go that
Because you can
route, which
see
they
it
are,
coming soon. I assume you could reach out and schedule a showing and make a deal.
100% you
Like,
can.
I mean, yeah. So what? Yeah.
What's the
I
difference?
just, yeah. It just
So
seems
that,
silly.
So now you took this mechanism that was used to have maybe a seller, put the house on the market when they're not quite ready yet. They're getting some paint done, but they want to sell, so they're going to get this thing soft
Start
launch,
marketing
whatever you
earlier.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's just kind of like out the window to an extent because if everything's coming soon, then everything is just a listing. There's no difference that differentiates that status, right? To an extent. So, anyways, that's
And it
interesting. And
really, like I said, like you said too, just to kind of, it really does no benefit for the maybe the listing agent, right? Because now, I mean, maybe, but for like the buyer's agent, it's giving you no upper hand essentially, where somebody might be able to come to you
that's right.
and yeah, so it's
And
it
let me also tell you something. It takes away some of the information that agents have that's that is valuable to a buyer. It takes away the ability for a buyer to get a sneak preview sometimes of properties if they have the right agent sending them the stuff, right? Let's say from MLS, and it takes away some leverage on the seller side as well. Because if you choose to do coming soon and you want to go that route and it's explained correctly by your agent, et cetera, if you get somebody who's interested in the property and wants to buy it, and when it's coming soon status, knowing that the rest of the world doesn't know about it yet, that buyers may be willing to just pay a little bit more than
right.
the seller can hold tight to the price. They might be willing to pay a little more so they can get it before the whole world knows about it. Well,
Mhm. Or not have to deal
now,
with showings if you can arrange
yeah.
like so it
Well, now
just
if
seems
everything's
like
coming soon,
yeah, it
it's
just
all out
seems
there.
like it's yeah, and then I don't the legality side of it and fair housing and all that stuff we can get into because who
That's a whole
knows
nother
about
podcast.
that. But yeah, it just seems like all of these decisions were made brokerages for money reasons without really thinking about the consumer or the agents on
But
on
yet
the
they all
brokerages.
say it's all about the consumer.
Of course.
So it's a talking point. It's marketing, right? At its finest. It's almost like politicians, right? To an extent.
You got
And I
you
will say,
gotta
yeah,
frame things one
yeah,
way. Yeah.
yeah. Well, and then with this guys too. When does it take place? Because that was my big question. Okay, so this is happening. So at what point am I going to stop? Because if these are now all out there, you better know or tell your client that they can find it. Number one, you better know as an agent, okay? Because you will sound very
And to
dumb
check
if you do not.
all of the platforms because they're all on
That's
different
right.
ones. Yep.
That's right. And if you're telling your client it's not going to be out there, and it is, and they find it, then you just lost credibility because you weren't aware that now coming soons are on this platform or that platform. So what they're saying is that Zillow Preview and EXPs, exclusive, with Homes.com and Realty.com, et cetera, that's going to be coming out. It appears. on the end of March, but no later than April 15th. And it appears that Zillow Preview and the EXP syndication, Realtor.com, Homes.com, CareHome.com will begin on April 15th, actually. And Redfin may start showing them with Compass non-exclusives as soon as the end of March here coming up, right? So
I mean,
we're it's right
this
on the
week.
corner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this week and next
but
week.
needless to say, all of them should probably be out there no later than April 15th, right? On the different platforms. Just know what brokerages are working with who. So if you have an agent that you see the sign in the yard, and they're marketing 123 Main Street and they're with XY or Remax, okay, that's Zillow. So you can tell your client to go to Zillow for that one, right? They want to see it, that sort of thing, right? Or you can send them the link from MLS because it should be in there as well, potentially. But what I'm not clear on is if some of these brokerages like Compass, because they're big against not being part of the NAR, that's a big thing. What I'm not clear about is if they're going to actually force their agents to put it in MLS and follow those rules, or if they're going to basically put their thumb up, to MLS and NAR and say we're not playing by the rules. And if so, what's the consequences there? That I'm not clear on. So, anyways, guys, this is
a lot
coming.
to unfurl in the next
Yep,
coming weeks.
That's right. That's right. We'll keep track of it. We'll keep on this podcast. We'll bring you the information, but you need to know if you're a real estate agent, you need to know these things. Definitely.
Yeah, and continue go look into your own research. If you Kelly broke this down really, really well, but if you need any more information, it's go read it so that you can be informed. Or Kelly, where can they reach you if they want to talk about this?
Yeah, DM me. Let's have some more conversations at Kelly Cook Homes on Instagram.
All right, everybody. We will see you all next week. Bye, Kelly.
See ya.